Well, hey folks, welcome to beautiful Wyoming. Doing a multi-day backpacking trip here, and it is gorgeous, and joint creation is awesome. And so I want to share with you though, and talk a little bit today about water purification. You know, recently I showed you the Grayl Ultralight. I picked this up at a discount. It was kind of, 50-50. I was like, I don't know, it's pretty expensive. I have a lot of water purification. I don't think it's gonna be all that standout-ish. And I gotta tell you, after a couple months of using this on several day hikes, I fell in love with not only the capability, the speed of water purification, but the possibility of being able to use it not only just to drink out of, but then having a full container of pure water that I can pour into maybe my water bladder and refill that along the trail, or share with friends and family that are trekking with me. Well, in lieu of this backpacking trip, I got my hands on the Grayl Geopress, which is the bigger, more upgraded version. It can process more water, has a drinkable pour spout lid, and has a couple other features in it that the Ultralight doesn't have. And so in this video, I just want to break down what are the capabilities of this Grayl Geopress, running up against its little brother, the Ultralight, talk pros and cons. And if you are in the market for that water bottle style water purification system, why for me, now my brother, my crew, we're falling in love with the Grayl system as a whole and what it has to offer. So let's go ahead and have some fun, show you some amazing views here in Wyoming, and check out the Geopress from Grayl. And so the Geopress works just like the Ultralight, and that's basically like a French press concept. You got your filter on the bottom with all your dirty water in the main container. You press, it forces the dirty water through the water filter and into the inner compartment, which then makes all the water clean. If you missed the original Ultralight video that we did, what really sells this for me is, unlike my other water bottle purifiers that I own, you scoop up the dirty water, but then it just stays dirty, and then you have the purifier either in the water, or the water has to go through it into your mouth, or into a reservoir, and it's just not really conducive to putting in other reservoirs and sharing. This is, regardless if it's the Ultralight or the Geopress, is so conducive to sharing or filling up like your water bladder. So that's what we did the day that we were leaving and packing up. I filled this up, we were drinking with it, but I have my water bladder, so I just pressed this like 1.5 times, and we're good to go. One full time, and then I did about 16 ounces with the bladder because it was a smaller bladder, and I was able to pour it straight from there into my other water bladder reservoirs. I can pour it into other people's cups if I'm just going out with a few other people, so not everyone has to have their own personal water filter and you're just having to like sip along the way. You can do that if you want, or share or refill other items and other reservoirs. So that's really like one of the massive selling points of the Grayl system in general to me, is the refill and shareability, that once you press it, everything inside the container is now clean water and you can do what you want with it, where most other purifiers don't offer that option. It's dirty and it has to go through the filter and straight into whatever you're doing. So just running in some size perspective, again, the Ultralight on the left and then a 32-ounce Nalgene on the right. So it's about the same diameter as a Nalgene, just a little bit taller with that lid and the filter aspect. Now, I'll just be running a bunch of footage, tons of times that we use this on this trek, as well as even since then. And I'll just give you a few basic specs for your data info. And Grayl does a great job on their website of breaking down everything. So if there's something that I missed, or there's a question you have, you can just hop on over their site. We'll have links for you guys below so you can read all the kind of info. The basic big selling points to me: Grayl offers an amazing amount of filtration and purification with their systems in general. So the Geopress and the Ultralight removes viruses, bacteria, protozoa, chemicals, heavy metals, and particulates. So this thing really purifies anything under the sun. It's rated for all 7 continents. You could literally scoop it out of any creek, lake, pond, water source worldwide, and it is supposed to clean out the water. Now, I've used it not only in some kind of closer to town sludgy, grosser water sources, but I've also done nice clean water sources and had zero issues. So that's what's awesome. The cartridges are replaceable. The Geopress is going to have an 8-second one press filtration. So in 8 seconds you will purify 24 ounces of water. The larger size allows you to do 24 ounces. The Ultralight does 16 per press. And the Geopress will have a longer lifespan, if you will, of filtration, meaning that it can do 350 uses or 65 gallons, whereas the ultralight, I believe, does 300, which equals out to be about 40 gallons worth before they need to be replaced, if they're all annotated, if I'm incorrect on the ultralight. But that's a lot. So obviously 65 gallons, then you can replace the cartridge. The cartridges are going to be $30 to replace, about $25 for the ultralight. The cartridges are super easy to replace at the bottom there. You just pull a little ring out, twist, put the new one on, boom, you're ready to rock and roll. Some of you asked in the original ultralight video, it's designed in America. The body, so just the polymer body, is made in China, and then the filter itself is made here in America. So that makes you have a peace of mind. If it was made, overseas like that, I would not be probably even using it. So the fact that the filter is made here in America, and it's a U.S. company, I believe out of Seattle, if I remember correctly, that gives me peace of mind that it's functioning properly. I can obviously tell I've had many different water purification systems from other companies. It's a very well-built polymers, and it's seating together. There's no rattling and plastic kind of clunking and cheap feeling with the overall design. Another really good aspect to these filters is that they can handle a few freezing and thawing cycles. Most filters like this, if it freezes one time, boom, it's toast, you got to replace it. This can handle, I believe, up to 3 times before of a freeze and then thawing before you would need to replace the cartridge. I wouldn't do that. I would do everything in my power to keep it from freezing, but if for some reason you left it out by mistake, or a temperature swing was just nuts, that is something that's really cool. So the details again are in the info that they have on their website. But when I read that, I was like, wow, that's awesome, because I have had to replace a Sawyer filter before because it went below freezing, and I know it's toast, and I just was like, had to throw it away, and it had years and years of life still left on it. Once they are in use, they have a shelf life of 3 years, or that maximum amount of usages, 65 again for the Geopress, before the cartridge needs to be replaced as well. And the cartridges, if unused, have a 10-year shelf life. And the Grayl system itself, if something were to wear out, break, it has a 10-year warranty on it. And with the Geopress, it's rated for, with water in it, a 10-foot drop on concrete. So I mean, they really tried to build this Geopress with a lot of toughness, durability, and I can see that. So one other aspect, the Geopress is 15.9 ounces, where the ultralight is 10.9 ounces. So at basically a pound, the Geopress isn't necessarily the lightest water purification system out there. So for people counting every ounce, ultralight, backpackers, that type of thing, the Geopress may not be the right option for me and what I do. My pack, I'm trying to get between like 30 and 40 pounds. I was about 40 for this particular backpacking trip. It's not as big a deal, and the versatility and capability of the Geopress definitely outweigh its weight, but it is a heavier product, and so it's just something to be aware of when you are considering this as your filtration and water purification system. Now, aside from just being able to do the larger amount of water per press, and all those different things, is this lid. I really am digging this lid. It's on the Geopress. It has a pour spout nozzle that makes it much easier to drink out of. It's not going to splash on you, anything like that, which is pretty sweet. But it has these 2 nice pads for your palms on either side, so you can really put your body weight on it and just press. Whereas the ultralight, though good, it just is a little trickier. And the nice thing is that it has these 2 little dots. They have the red, which means totally locked out, not going to leak on you. Green, which means it's ready to press. And when you just open the lid enough and have the little arrow on the cap pointing to green, that means that you can now press it. And it just is a lot smoother system than on the ultralight. The ultralight is good, but you just got to kind of like guess, and you just got to kind of untwist the lid a little bit and then press, and there you go. This just makes the flow rate faster when you're pressing, and just a larger lid makes it easier, just not as much pressure on your hands, and just the overall system is super smooth. And then obviously the pour spout is really nice. It's very well built. Even the little polymer tab has like a little Allen head piece in there, so even if the cap was lost or damaged, then you can replace it. All right, folks, so as I said earlier, I went out, bought the ultralight, loved it over this summer so much on my day hikes. I reached out to Grayl. I said, hey, I'm going on a multi-day backpacking trip, want to see what the Geopress has to offer. Will you send a few for me to test and review? They were willing to do that, and they threw in a few other items as well that I'll just show you here real quick. You know, they got stuff like pint glasses, tumblers that are insulated, insulated water bottles, and just a lot going on top of just water purification. So we'll have links for you guys over to their website where you can see a lot of this stuff. So they're definitely building like a brand, not just like, hey, here are 1 or 2 water purifiers. I think that they're really trying to build a brand, and we'll see what else they produce down the line. So those will all be in those links for you guys below. And the ultralight is going to go for about $70. The Geopress is going to go for $90. So you're definitely paying for the integrated streamline capability, as well as the ability to basically purify any type of water you're going to run into around the world. So that is a huge bonus for me, and just how quick, how easy it was to use, obviously with originally the ultralight, and some of the cool extra bonus features that the Geopress has, along with just being able to do more of it, process more water in one sitting. I think definitely has a lot going for it. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say that $70 or $90, depending on which version, isn't a pretty penny. You have to decide, how often am I purifying water? Am I traveling overseas a lot? Is this something that I'm going to be using constantly? Then it makes sense to pay that type of money. Maybe if you're just going once a year, not a big deal. There are obviously cheaper options on the market that you can look into that can definitely purify water as well. Or maybe if you're prepping, and you're like, you know what, I don't know what type of water I'm going to run into even here in the United States. And so I just feel like I may not be out on the trail all that much, but this makes sense to me because of the fully integrated capability. That is really what I feel like you are paying for with those price points, and how well it's functioning for me. Again, having originally bought that ultralight and now the Geopress, that it is now become a regular staple, regardless if it's a day hike or a multi-day backpacking trip for me, my family, and crew. And for the first 24 hours or so of this video going live, we're doing an Instagram giveaway on this Covert Black Edition that's exclusive to the Grayl website. We'll have links again for you below over to the website, but if you want to get entered in to win, we will be giving one of these away. Grayl will be shipping it to one lucky winner that we pick from the comments over on Instagram, so hop on over there and check it out if you want to get entered in to win. And again, everything will be in the description box links below. Well, folks, in conclusion, there you have it. I really am in love with this Grayl system. I was skeptical in the beginning when we tested out the ultralight, but I've fallen in love with how easy it is, how capable it is, not only just purifying everything out of the water, but then the features and options, and really the ability to share and or reload other reservoirs, regardless if it's your bladder or an algae. So it really just depends on not only price, but also size. I would say, I think it would be epic in the future for them to put this type of lid on the ultralight size. I think that would be awesome. So then I would be more prone to use the ultralight on my day hikes, because I don't have to process as much, or if I need to, it's only one time throughout the day. And then for longer excursions, or when there's a lot more people with me, I would be taking my Geopress because it can process more and carry more water. So that'd be a cool feature to see. Maybe down the line they'll do that and offer the ultralight with the Geopress lid. That'd be pretty bomb. But guys, I gotta tell you, fallen in love with them. Highly recommended here at the channel by me and my crew. And if it connects with you and it fits a niche and a need that you have, I don't think you'll be disappointed. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming over and watching the video. I invite you to subscribe if you're not a current subscriber. We're throwing up content like this all the time. You can check out the other video popping up. Check us out on social media, Instagram, Facebook, throwing up behind the scenes stuff, projects I'm currently working on all the time over there as well. Finally, guys, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.